Hi, it's Kristen. I thought I would sneak a few minutes here to do my 21 week video update. Again, it feels really hard for me to believe that I'm sitting here 21 weeks pregnant, more than halfway. This week has been a big week, not a like hugely hectic week like the week before last, but still busy. Like this past week, this week has been less so, and should be kind of less so, lower key. I hope it will finish out that way. Yesterday was tough, but anyways, I'm rambling, so I'm a little tired right now. But I really want to try and try and get this time in. So let's see. So I had my prenatal appointment yesterday. I actually thought about doing this video earlier, but I remembered I told you guys I was going to wait till after my appointment. So I had my prenatal appointment yesterday, and that went really well. I'm in the office all the time, but it's still really nice to have an appointment that's dedicated to me and talking about me. So we checked everything out. Everything looks good with the baby. So at my appointment, I was 21 weeks and 2 days. And I'm measuring at 23 weeks, which really isn't very surprising being baby number 8. I had a big jump in weight gain, which I have a hard time with that. Even though I make sure that I'm eating well, and even though I teach a lot about pregnancy nutrition, and even though I know that good weight gain is a good thing, it's still tough for me to see the scale jump. One of the reasons I think is because I compare to my first and second pregnancies, 16 and 14 years ago, and I just didn't gain quite as much weight, and I lost it right away. And I'm older now, and I also actually am probably eating better. Scott thinks that some of us probably muscle weight because we've been walking more, which I'll tell you all about that too. But it's still a little bit tough for me to watch the scale and for me to know that, and I even think that like the whole pregnancy weight gain recommendations are, there's some sense to them, but mostly they're bogus. But still, for me to see like 30 pounds and I'm only halfway through is, it's tough. So that was the only thing I was really not happy with at the appointment. But otherwise, everything looked good. We do like the urine stick check at every appointment, and that looked good, even though Scott took me out for dinner on Monday night before the appointment. And the little dairy bar that's on the side of the lake had opened, so we went and we had an ice cream cone too. And that's one thing that's funny to me comparing to past pregnancies, because in the past, I would have, like if I had eaten an ice cream cone the night before a prenatal appointment, I would have spilled glucose in my urine the next day. And I don't know, maybe that would have happened, but then I got up and I ate a breakfast that was like pure fat and protein. And then my snack was like pure protein. And then my lunch was like a huge salad that was basically salad and protein and salad dressing. So there was like no carbs all morning. So my body probably burned. Well, there was croutons on the salad, so that was a little bit of carbs. But my body probably burned up everything from that ice cream. So before I did the test. So anyways, but that was good, and I'm feeling good. I talked to my midwife some about the introspection, which I've already talked to you guys about over the past couple weeks, so I won't go into that anymore. I talked to her about something else that's interesting. I don't think I've told y'all this, but I don't know like if colors are supposed to symbolize anything. I've continued to have dreams. I know we talked about dreams already. I've continued to have dreams about like big rambling houses, like we're going to buy usually, or we're going to look at, or we've just moved into big rambling houses. So I've continued to have those. But another thing that I've noticed is the color orange, which I have like nothing against orange, but it's never been a color that I prefer. I don't wear orange or anything like that. But I see orange everywhere. It's like it just jumps out at me, like orange cars or orange clothing, or I'll open a website and its color scheme will be orange, and it's just like, where's all this orange coming from? And then actually, if you can see that crate back there, that bright orange crate. So sometimes in the office, we have moms who who will bring in like their birth kits what they didn't use because they don't need it. So like anything that's still sealed that they ended up not using, like we get a lot of gloves and a lot of gauze and a lot of packages of sealed blue pads that just didn't get used and the moms don't need them. And so my midwife and one of the apprentices decided they were going to try and like put together a birth kit out of all these bits and pieces and give it to me so that I didn't have to order a birth kit, which I thought was really sweet and fun. But somebody had brought her stuff in that orange crate and told the midwife, just keep it, I don't need that. And so she packed everything in that orange crate. And so I keep seeing orange, and then I get my birth kit delivered in this bright orange crate. It's like, what is going on with orange? So that's something really interesting. If any of y'all know, like, if colors are supposed to symbolize anything, or if you keep seeing a color repeatedly, if that's supposed to mean something. I don't know if I would believe that it means something, but it's one of those things that's just like, why? Why do I keep seeing that? And maybe now that I've noticed I keep seeing it, orange things pop out more, so it could be like a self-fulfilling prophecy. But anyways, I don't think I've ever had colors. I've always had dreams, but I've never had like a color that feels like it's popping out strongly in pregnancy, so that's kind of funny. I talked to her about that, and she thought that was funny too. No real answers, but just a kind of a, interesting. Let's see, what else? So we just talked, baby sounded good, like heartbeat around 146, and she couldn't tell what position the baby's in, which is not unusual at 21 weeks, but there's definitely a bunch of baby in there. I'm feeling the baby move tons, like lots of good kicks and punches, and up high too. I may have mentioned this last week, like starting to feel them up higher, and that's a lot of fun. Scott hasn't been able to feel the baby move on the outside yet, not because we haven't been able to, because I've been able to for a few weeks, but I think he just didn't get it at the right time. But a couple of nights ago, he had his hand on my belly and got a huge kick, so that's fun. I'm happy that he got to feel that. So otherwise, like, everything looks really good, and I'll go back in a month for an official appointment. I'm in the office all the time, but I'll go back for an official appointment, and I'm excited about that. I'm kind of hoping we'll be able to tell the baby's position by that point. Maybe not, but I think maybe we'll have an idea. We might not be able to tell a head from a butt, but we'll probably be able to feel like the overall position. So that's exciting. And I've been feeling like I can't really tell, like just feeling myself at home. I just know where I'm feeling the baby kick and stuff. So other things that are going on, this is embarrassing, but I'll share it anyways because it might be helpful. But I have had a little wart on this pinky, and it's been driving me crazy, especially since I've been assisting at prenatal visits because I'm palpating babies a lot. Palpating is the technical term for feeling the baby in the mother's womb. So anyways, it's getting in my way, palpating babies. So I finally called my nurse practitioner's office and asked her, is it safe to have it frozen off? I had a couple frozen off like when I was in my early 20s, so ages ago. And, you know, I just wanted to get it done with. So I went and into the office yesterday morning before my prenatal, and she did that. So I'll actually show you so you can see it. It's like, it's hurting today. It doesn't hurt, but the wart itself is hurting, which is why it's all red. She did look and make sure that it was safe to do during pregnancy first. And she said that when she worked OB, she froze off a lot of genital warts, which is something that, it just makes me scared, but that might be useful information for somebody too, that you can get those kind of taken care of. But it doesn't sound comfortable. But she did recommend that I get like the over-the-counter wart remover stuff, which has salicylic acid as the main ingredient. And I did go by Walmart and pick up a bottle of that. I haven't used it yet. She also checked on that. Is that safe for pregnancy? But I feel a little bit more hesitant about that. If I was in my first trimester, I wouldn't use it at all. But I might use it like once a day now because I go back in 2 weeks for her to freeze it again. And it's a small one. So hopefully that's all it will take. The bottle says you can use it like up to 2 to 3 times a day, but I don't know that I feel comfortable with that because even though it's going to go on top of the wart, it's still going to end up getting absorbed in my skin and could possibly get to the baby. So I'm still debating. I haven't done an application of that yet. So I'll tell you next week what I've decided to do. It was only $3, so it's not a big deal if I decide not to, but I think I probably will do a few applications. I'm just not going to do it as religiously as the bottle recommends because, you know, it is a drug. So, and your skin absorbs a lot. See, that's the thing. It's like not much different than taking it because your skin absorbs so much, just like you put essential oils and stuff on your skin because they're absorbed into your body. Anyways, so that was my drama yesterday morning. It stings a little to have a wart frozen, but it doesn't like hurt. So it wasn't like causing my blood pressure to go up or me to be alarmed or anything that I was worried about in that regard for the baby. So otherwise, what's going on this week? It's really warm here now, which is nice. It's supposed to get cooler again, but I actually have my window open, so if you can hear birds or children, it's because my window's open. We just passed Mother's Day, so this is probably the other big thing. And Scott got me a Fitbit for Mother's Day, which I had asked for, so I was really excited about it. And if I can keep up with this little thing, it's going to revolutionize my life. I wanted to set a goal and like in steps because it measures steps. This model is kind of a mid-tier model. So it measures steps, and so I set it for 8,000 steps a day. The Fitbit has like a little forum you can get to in the app, and there's one that's for postpartum moms, and I was scrolling through that, and lots of pregnant moms are posting there too. And so I saw like 5,000 to 8,000 as a good starting goal. The recommendation for anybody not pregnant, the app won't let you tell it you're pregnant, which I wish it would, because then like it would ignore the weight stuff and everything. But the recommendation is like at least 10,000 a day, but start slower. So I decided to start with 8,000 just to see if I could hit that. And so it's got other cool features, like it maps our trail and stuff. So it was able to map our walking trail on our property, and the trail that we normally walk is about a half a mile. So we walked that several times on Sunday, and I ended up hitting 10,000 steps on Sunday just because we were walking and talking and everything. And then Monday and yesterday, that was Tuesday, so today's Wednesday, I hit 8,000 steps on both days. Though yesterday was hard because I was in the office so much, and appointments are back to back to back. So I actually ended up just before bed, and then we had a 4-H meeting, which was ridiculous. I was so tired. And then when I got home, I made Scott take a walk on the trail with me, but then I still had a few hundred steps to do at bedtime. So I put laundry away and then kind of paced back and forth with my phone, archiving emails that I didn't need, just so that I could hit those last couple hundred steps, and I did. But it's ended up, so 8,000 steps is like just over 3 miles. So going from walking really not any to the last 3 days, Sunday we walked like 4 miles, and then the last 2 days walking like 3 miles total in steps, and a lot of that is actually out walking our trail, so out in nature kind of thing, out in the sun, out in the good weather. I'm not sure what I'll do in the rain, if it's rainy, but like a few walks on our trail a day is a big change for me, and it's not too much that I've felt really tired, especially Sunday night. My legs felt sore and a little bit each evening, but it's not like excruciating or bad. And one of the things that's encouraging to me is like just getting up in the morning and getting everybody going. I end up with like 1,000 steps or so, just puttering back and forth across the house, getting everybody up, checking chores, getting dressed, getting the day going. So that's nice. Let me tell you about some of the other stuff it does, but that's the big thing, is I wanted something that might help motivate me to get out there and walk. Another Scott's favorite feature is probably that it gives reminders. So it wants you to take at least 250 steps an hour at minimum. So if you've been sitting and working for a while, it'll remind you, get up, take some steps. And if you haven't like done a good long series of steps, like taking a walk, in a while it'll ask you, it pops up, do you want to stroll? And it has like a silent alarm, so it does a little buzz, like a vibrate, but it doesn't have an audible alarm. So it's nice because it's discreet, but it reminds you. And so Scott really likes that because he doesn't like to pester me, but he knows that I want to take walks, but I'm the kind of person who will sit down and start working, and I just don't get up. So it's been really, really nice. It also tracks my heart rate. I feel like my heart rate is a little bit higher than I would like it to be. So my hope is that as I walk more, that'll improve, because more activity generally, I can always tell the women who are, the women who are athletic in the practice when I take their blood pressure, because their pulse is just so much slower. So I'm hoping that, with the more activity, that'll lower slightly. Your pulse is typically a little higher in pregnancy anyways, but mine's still like 10 beats per minute from where I would like it to be. So anyways, I'm hoping that will work on, that will happen. Other things that it does, it tracks like calories, which I'm not even watching that. It's got, let me see if I can get it come back up again. It's got a little hike feature. It's got an exercise setting, and you can choose different exercises. I picked hike. Let's see if I can make it come back up there. And you can cycle through different workouts. I know it's upside down for y'all, so I'm sorry. It's not a touch screen. You have to tap it or use the button on the side. But, so I have hike set first, and it's really easy just to start a hike. It tracks how long your hike takes in minutes, how many steps you've taken, your distance. And if you've got your phone with you, that's how it maps out the route that you've gone. So, yeah, so that's really cool. I like that because I'm a geek and like to be able to see that. It's got a stopwatch feature, which I haven't actually used yet. It also has a guided relaxation feature, which I haven't used yet, but I should probably. It's like a 2-minute relaxation. And then you can set silent alarms. So I actually set a wake-up alarm on it. And so that it does a little buzz on my wrist. I've been wearing it to bed to sleep at night because it also tracks your sleep, which has been really interesting. I've worn it for the last 3 nights, and it tracks my sleep cycles. So that's very intriguing. The app lets you track your water consumption. You don't put that on the watch. And then the other thing that it does, what else does it do? I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I was going to share. So it's got the alarm, heart rate, and everything. But yeah, it's just, the other thing that it does is this is a mid-tier model, so it will, like if a call comes in on my phone, it shows up on the band. So it says, like when my dad called, he's in my phone as Daddy. So it does its little silent vibration, and then it says Daddy on the screen. Or if my husband were to call, it would say Scott on the screen. And then if I get a text, it shows, like, say, Ashley, and then the first few words from her text on there, which is really cool. I really like that feature because that means if I'm not right by my phone, or if my phone's in my bag or something, I can still see at a glance who's texting me or, who is that calling. So that's really cool. So overall, I'm really thrilled with it. You can get different bands too, which I don't have any different bands yet. But I'm hoping that it will help me mostly get out and walk more and just be more active, because I feel like that's really important during pregnancy. I'm feeling much better, like overall, not so fatigued, no morning sickness. Like my biggest pregnancy sign right now is my nails are growing like crazy, just like crazy, and they actually look bad right now, so I won't show them off too much because I've been sweating, but so they got dirt under them, which is, I'm always cleaning out under my nails. I can't stand it. But anyways, so my nails are growing like crazy. My appetite's definitely up. I felt very hungry the past few days, which is probably from all the walking. But otherwise, just feeling really good. I've been able to really jump back into my midwifery studies. Last week, we did really well with getting up. This week so far, we've done really well with getting up on time. We got these things called e-cloths. We're out of time this week, but maybe I'll show them to you next week. Bring some of them in here and show them to you. They are amazing. They work with just water, and they clean like everything. And since they work with just water, my little kids can use them. And I've had them like clean. We had a wall that got crayoned and they cleaned that off. We have a wooden play kitchen that definitely looks its age. They've been cleaning that, and it's starting to look brand new, basically, or at least clean. And so they're just amazing. And then Scott took the vacuum cleaner apart this morning and got a clog out of it. So we vacuumed the house, and I had the little ones like e-clothing walls and windowsills and door borders, sills. I don't know what those are called. Anyways, just getting everything clean, and so the house feels cleaner. The kids have been doing their schoolwork because I've been more consistent with following up with them on their schoolwork. So I just really feel like everything is going very well right now. I hope that it continues to go well, and then we get like a little bit of a rest before we're going to go ahead and start our next school term pretty much right away, so we can take more time off when the baby comes in around fair. But anyways, and I'll tell you some more about fair too, because we have all kinds of animals coming to the farm now. But otherwise, I think I will wrap up now. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. I am hoping to do like some live Q&A videos, maybe tomorrow and Friday, a couple. And so if you happen to see me when I'm live, I'll pop on. Otherwise, I did do a podcast last week on kind of life as a student midwife and as a pregnant student midwife. So if you didn't check that out, go to birthbabylife.com, and that'll be the top podcast episode for the next couple of days until I put the next one out. So check that out. Otherwise, I will talk to you next week and hope that you have a blessed week.